That's the future. Everyone should enable it immediately. Everyone should stop going outside, download Marvel Rivals, play that like 15 hours a day, and then go on girlfriend mode and get your social interaction from that. That's the future. That's the world we're heading to. Don't fight it. Embrace it.
Welcome to Tech and Tea, the number one show for those that want to hear what's happening this past week in tech and get a little bit of the tea as well. My name is Gav Blacksburg. I'm here with Alex Finn and Penny2X. And today we're going through several topics, and we're going to be kicking it off with everyone's favorite topic. What did you do last week? And please send me an email in 5 bullet points stating what you did. Obviously, if you haven't seen it, there's been a national outcry from the government. We want to hold them accountable. Not really. We actually just want to know that they're doing a little bit of work when we pay them with our taxes. So let's talk about it because there's been a whole lot of hullabaloo. Let's kick into it. Penny, what's your thoughts when you saw this email going out? I didn't think there was going to be such a crazy feedback, but clearly there is.
I mean, like, they're going to respond like this to anything that Elon says right now. I feel like it's almost coordinated. It's shocking that, I mean, like, it just goes to show what's happening in our government right now. If they're freaking out about responding to an email, there is not a single successful company on this planet that does not have like stand-up meetings amongst their employees. They don't ask for status updates. I mean, like, quarterly and annual reviews. This type of stuff is normal, and people are absolutely freaking out. They're comparing it to North Korea. It's mind-boggling. So at first, the word was, if you don't respond, you're fired. We also heard some expectation that you can at least give reasonable bullet points. And now what I understand from a recent, I guess Elon was talking to cabinet members of Trump's, and he said, really, all we were doing was a pulse check. We're just seeing if these people are even alive as they're collecting, their paychecks from our taxes. And I wish that we were holding them to the higher standard. Like, my personal opinion is, like, I want everyone to be doing a great job. If I am working harder myself so that I can pay extra taxes so that this person has a job, well, they damn well better be doing a good job. So I'm just thankful that we're moving in this direction at all. I wish we would push harder. Like Trump said, be more aggressive. That's what started this email in the first place. And the pushback I don't know. It's almost too much for me. It's like a meme.
Yeah, we can see here the email that went out. Please reply to this email. And why are we talking about this on Tech and Tea? Well, they're kind of tech support now, right? They're like, this is the tech check, right? Sending it out, getting some emails going. Now,
it's definitely tea too.
Yeah, definitely tea. I mean, there was a lot of also people that were saying, like, some of the department heads emailed their own team saying, don't reply to this. I mean, Alex, it seems like there's a lot of confusion going on.
Well, I just don't get it. I worked in tech for 12 years. Even as an intern in tech, I was getting emails saying, hey, give me a status update. How's this going? What had happened the last week? Right? This isn't like some crazy authoritarian way for businesses to operate. Like, your tax money goes to this. The people who are getting these emails, you're paying for, right? When you come home and your paycheck's $50,000 instead of $100,000 on the year, that $50,000, like, that's real money. That's real money that's going to the government that's paying for these people. So when you work and half your money goes to the government, so basically you're working from January to June for free. From January to June, you're working for these people, right? You're working to pay for these people. Don't you want that money to go to like things that make a difference? Or do you want it to go to 150-year-old people that don't exist, that are dead, and the money just goes and pays for some bureaucrat's yacht? Like, how can you be upset about this? This is your money. The people getting angry over this clearly don't have jobs or contribute to society, because anyone who has a job and gets paid and then looks at their paycheck and then half the money's gone wants that money to go towards good things, right? They want the money to go, so they want it to be used responsibly. So the only way you're getting upset is if you don't work or contribute to society in any way whatsoever. Anyone who pays taxes, whose money gets taken away from them and goes to some invisible government, should want the money to be spent wisely. So it doesn't make it, anyone who has had a real job in their life, this is totally standard by the books, right? I was a leader for a while. I asked people, what did you do this last week? Like, that's not like some sort of weird, you just make sure the money's being spent wisely. I don't get it. It's stupid.
Yeah, it seems like a little bit of accountability is drawing out the worst in people, one might say, when it comes to this. Speaking of which, Alex, what did you get done last week?
What did I get done last week? That's a really good question. I shipped a whole bunch of new functionality in Creator Body. We put in improvements for Reply Guy. We put in improvements for the content generation. I'm just coding out the wazoo every single day. I'm filming podcasts, the Tech and Tea podcast, #1 tech podcast and tea podcast in the entire world, creating content out the wazoo. It's amazing. I've done a ton. I'm happy with the way my money's being earned.
Getting retweeted by Elon.
That's huge. Couple retweets by, filmed a bunch of videos showing people how to use AI, crossed 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. So not all in a good week's work, I'd say.
Very nice.
Look at that feed. That's a great feed. Thank you, whoever's controlling that feed and putting it on this video. Oh, good work. Penny, what'd you do last week?
Man, I, for the first time, built an iPhone and an Android app in the last week. I got them working. I am like on a mission to create a software revenue stream. I'm like fully inspired by you and Creator Buddy. And I did a ton of research as well, right? So like I'm really leaning into these new AIs. I've been messing around with Sonnet 3.7 for coding, but I've been using Grok a ton to do market research. I'm trying to figure out like, as I build these things, let's waste as little amount of time as possible. There's my headshots. I did my headshots this week, so we're ready for some better YouTube thumbnails. I felt so stupid taking those pictures.
You might want to take that bottom right picture down, Penny. That's bad news. You're putting yourself at risk. That is a risky picture to put on the internet for anyone to grab. You might want to take that down.
To hell, and especially now that it's been highlighted on this podcast, anyone that watches it is going to go.
Do not take that. Listen, if you're watching this podcast right now, do not take that bottom right picture, green screen it, and put things on top of it. Please do not do that if you're watching this podcast.
Please do not put that in the comments on all different social media platforms.
No, that'd be bad.
Did pretty well though. A few hundred likes there. So yeah, as you guys have gone over here, all we're asking for is just what did you do last week, really, to the government? And I'd just be intrigued. And then I would
put it in the replies. Put it in the reply section, whatever platform we're on right now. Tell us what you did this last week.
Yeah. That's great. Share us 5 bullet points. Make it
how you engagement farm right there. That's what I'm talking about from a professional engagement farmer.
And don't use Grok to write it for you, or do. Speaking of Grok, there's more that's been continuing to happen. We're about a week past. There was some updates on Claude. There's some expected updates on ChatGPT. So what a week for AI. It feels like we're moving at a month or a year at a time in a week. Alex and Penny, you guys probably use more AI than anyone else that I know. What's your summation of the past week?
Did either of you use Aura? Did you mess around with the voice chat from X?
Haven't yet.
I heard somebody using it a little bit. It seemed a little unhinged.
Yeah.
I haven't found any compelling use cases for voice AI. I'm going to be honest. Like every use case I have for AI, it's like, oh, research this, right? Like I've never been like, oh, I need to hang out and chat with my AI. But once I find a good one, I'll use it.
I'm waiting for the ability to trigger like deep research via voice. For example, like a lot of people now, or at least I'm going to start using the extra button on my phone, the action button to bring up voice chat. And that way, if I want to kick off a deep research, I don't have to pull up my keyboard and type it. I wish I could just say like, go in think mode and answer this question for me, and then just have it be in my history. That's one of the things, actually, it didn't do that at first, and I requested it as a feature and they implemented it right away. So now when you have those voice chats, there's transcripts. So if I could tell it, like, do a deep research for me, and then the transcript is ready, and then if I'm walking, and it could read it to me while I'm walking. If I say like, could you read me your thought chain, before you answered this, or can you read me the output of the deep research? That is much more of the use case that I'm talking about. Right now, all that it can do is have conversations. And it's almost like if you left the deep research and think modes off all the time, and you just chatted with the vanilla bot, the vanilla LLM. it's good. It's okay. It can have much more in-depth and interesting conversations than it used to, but I end up finding myself in a loop often where it'll just like start repeating the same things that it was before. It loses track of like where we were in the conversation. I'm looking for a little bit more context held in it and the ability to execute those like higher level functions. I think at that point, there will be like legitimate, productive, not just fun use cases. Cause it's fun to like ask unhinged mode to curse at you or like, you know, whatever. But there's like a doctor mode. There's a therapist mode. There's even like a girlfriend mode. So like, you know, that one, the romance mode or whatever, that's a little scary to me. Like, there's enough people already that never go outside. And, you know, I guess they're already like caught up in porn or whatever else, but just like one more reason why not to interact with humans, one less thing, like you get your romantic needs met by the phone. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I would have enabled that mode.
That's the future. Everyone should enable it immediately. Everyone should stop going outside, download Marvel Rivals, play that like 15 hours a day, and then go on girlfriend mode and get your social interaction from that. That's the future. That's the world we're heading to. Don't fight it. Embrace it.
While inside the Vision Pro?
Yes, of course. I'm waiting for the girlfriend mode Vision Pro app. Then my life's set. Then I'm never talking to anyone ever again.
It just overlays it over your current girlfriend.
What's the Matrix pill where you just stay in the Matrix? That's the one that Alex wants.
Yes. Plug me in, baby. Plug me into the Matrix. I want in.
Alex, what's the biggest thing that AI can't do right now that you wish it could?
Good question. Make me dinner.
So you would want it like
that would save me so much time.
Oh my gosh. Cleaning up after dinner is so much worse than making it. Like I want AI to clean.
But you don't need to clean up after dinner. You need to make dinner, but you don't need to clean up after it.
Well, you have a fiance or
You've never just left out your dishes for like 2 weeks after you're done? Who cares?
I have kids and I don't have enough dishes to last 2 weeks. My sink fills up after like 2 meals. And if I don't do my dishes, then, you know, they're going to be all over the floor. They're going to like, I can't do it.
Speaking of which, there was a bunch of videos of that other robot. What was it called? The one that was, everyone was popping the videos around this past week.
It's a whole bunch of them. I don't even remember the name.
I'm talking about the one that's built for the home. Yeah. I can't remember the name, but I did see those videos.
Something along those lines. Yeah. So you want AI to be able to do your dishes. So it just needs a human form. Optimus is coming, but it feels like there's a ton of competition. I keep running into people who are just like, we've got Optimus in China. It already, you know,
none of these videos impress me. None of this impresses me. I am 100% convinced all of these videos, everything we're seeing is human operated robots. No one's been able to prove to me so far that there isn't a human being with a remote control controlling all these robots in all these videos.
Why is that so much less impressive, Alex? Like, honestly, if it has the locomotion and the only part that they need to figure out is how to automate it, like, I feel like that's a big
That's the hard part, though. But that's the part, like, I've had robots I play as toys since I was a little kid. I'm not impressed by a robot that goes, like, I want for it to think on its own and do. That's the hard part.
Did you guys have that one robot? Someone posted a picture of this and I got nostalgic. It was like the one robot as a kid that had, I don't know, it was all black and white. And it had like the little hands with the extendable fingers and they opened and closed like this, kind of like that.
Oh yeah,
and
I had those.
It could like throw a ball or something. I don't know. Yes. I just got very nostalgic. I saw someone post it.
That's not breaking news. Robots that can move their arms. That's not breaking news.
Like from like a long time ago. And like,
I know, no, that's exactly my point. My point is we were little kids with robots that can move their arms. Right? The revolution is the robots that can think for themselves. And like, oh, there's an apple. Let me put that in the cupboard where the other apples are. Right? That's what I'm waiting for.
There has never been a robot, Alex, that could like, first of all, be human size, walk around with a natural gait, pick up actual objects from the world, have the dexterity and the strength to like do industrial work in a factory that's not, I mean, of course, there's been like factory robots, but they didn't have the ability to actually do real things. They look cool. They could dance, but they're like made out of plastic and, you know, they'll break in a week. This is like a whole new level of robotics that we're
But the issue is they're lying to us, right? They put out these videos, right? They put out these videos, robots picking stuff up and putting it in the fridge, but everyone knows for goddamn well there's someone with a remote control behind there doing all that. That's what pisses me off, is they're lying to us. Make it real.
Well, I think just recently we've got the technology that if you can have someone remote control it enough times and it tracks all of the telemetry of that it's actually not so hard to train an AI to do it. So that's what they've been doing with the cars recently. I mean, the progress on FSD from like a year ago until now has been incredible. And I expect the same thing to happen with AI and the robots. So like some of it is scripted and pre-programmed. Some of it is human controlled, but there is actual AI doing things now, and it's getting better every day. You see the speed that ChatGPT, all of these different releases, whether it's from Anthropic or OpenAI or XAI or anyone else in the industry, it's coming rapid fire right now. And all they need is a really good body to put that brain into, and they need to start to experiment in the 3D space instead of just in the word space. But man, it's happening. And I think, like, if not this year, 2026 is going to be crazy for robots.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? They're lying to us. Make it real. What did the producer of this show just make a meme on the fly during the show? Shouldn't you be paying attention to the show and not making memes? This is ridiculous.
Did he use AI to make that meme?
Fire this editor. What is this? You just sit there and make memes during the show? You should be paying attention, making sure the show flows naturally.
I would actually also tell you, most people, so you're a healthy skeptic here with also good knowledge of AI. Most people believe that the videos are real. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that. Like,
oh, for sure.
80% of people believe the videos are real. Penny, I got a question because you're the only one with kids. Would you trust a robot around your kids?
That's like saying, would you trust a human around your kids? Like, I need to know which robot, right? Like, tell me, are we talking about Optimus, or are we talking about like that killer robot in China? Did you see the one where it like charged the crowd and it looked like it was like given like it looked like it was mad. Then casually, like the guy controlling the robot just, grabbed it from behind and pulled it away from the crowd, but it looked like it was ready to fight the crowd. I don't want that one watching my kids, but like if it was one built by a company I trusted and there were 100,000 of them out there in the world and they were cleaning people's houses and taking care of their kids, like why not have something there to make sure that if the fire alarm goes off that my kids know what to do, right?
Would you be an early adopter?
How early? And
first 10,000
what robot? If it's from Tesla, I would. If it's from some company that I never heard of, like I guess you'd have to show me the robot.
I think Alex would be an early adopter because he strapped on that Vision Pro to his face when people said that it was frying your eyes, and he did it willingly.
And I not only strapped it on, I've had it strapped on 8 hours a day since then.
Still?
Even through the pain. Yeah.
Do you have like bulging neck muscles now, Alex?
Yo.
You fucking tell me, man.
Honestly, it's not a bad side profile. It's coming along.
Thank you.
Has anybody besides you used Creator Buddy inside of Vision Pro?
I'll come out with the Vision Pro app certainly soon so that you can be surrounded by the most powerful AI content tool of all time. That'll certainly be coming soon, but we're busy building cool things out right now, differentiating things like an account health check that tells the health of your account, if you're shadow banned, things like that. So really cool stuff like that coming soon.
And you built it on top of Grok?
No, I built it on top of Sonnet 3.5. The reason why I did that is I did very intense tests with all of the AIs. Every AI has a different strength, every single one. Grok, I think, is the best at cutting through the noise and getting to the truth and getting to the point. Sonnet, I think, is kind of the best vibes, the best, most conversational human. And so after all the tests, Sonnet 3.5, had kind of the best vibes where the output felt the most human. So everything's...
If you had to be friends with any AI, Alex, is it going to be like Grok because he's funnier, or Sonnet has the right vibes? Like, which one are you going to hang out with?
I mean, I guess it really depends on what you're looking for in an AI friend. If you're looking for an AI friend that just feels human, I think Sonnet is the way to go. You know, my app obviously outputs like content. And if the content doesn't feel huge, like the issue with AI right now is if you go to Chat GPT and say, hey, write me a tweet, it sounds like a robot, right? And Sonnet, based on after I fed it like hundreds of thousands of tweets, the output felt very, very human-like. So that's why I went with Sonnet 3.5, which I tested 3.7. It actually doesn't feel as human as 3.5.
All ChatGPT needs to do is just stop putting the freaking hashtags and emojis.
Right? That's what I was going to say too. It'll decorate it with a bunch of stupid flower emojis.
I love some of the mistakes that I see people make too. So I was doing research into this one company yesterday, and I was on their LinkedIn, and then I went to one of their employees' LinkedIn's. And in the description, I could tell that they wrote their position description using AI. This was the funniest thing. Not because it had hashtags or emojis, but because above the description, there was a one sentence that said, sure, I can make that more clear and concise for you. And then it had the description of their job description.
Yeah, I used to get replies like that. It seems like the bots, whatever they're using to run these bots, is getting better about checking and making sure that it doesn't do it. But it'd be like, I cannot respond to that post. Or it would be like, the original poster is talking about this and this. You could reply with this. And you're just like, oh man, there was a mistake here.
How much do you guys trust AI right now to be correct without having to double check it?
Around what? Correct around what?
Research, information, scanning the internet, answers to general questions, things like that.
Well, it depends, right? If it's just like getting answers from the internet, it's going to scan the internet better than I can. Like if I'm just getting answers from the internet, I trust it for that. When it comes to building code, I do have to check it over still because it'll randomly delete hundreds of lines of code for absolutely no reason.
That was my favorite meme this week. I was going to send it to you, Alex, but then I didn't want you to take it wrong. It was basically a meme that said, when I use AI to fix my code and all it does is delete everything I just wrote. And it was
It does that in a bad way where it'll just randomly delete everything, which is very annoying. So I do double check all the code it writes. But for the most part, I mean, it's when it just comes to coming up answers from the internet, I trust it pretty completely.
I find that it still hallucinates a lot. Right? Like all AI is still hallucinating. If I have a very specific fact and if it's in the past, right? If I'm like, who signed the Declaration of Independence? I find that for that sort of thing, it's extremely accurate now. It's like as good or better than Google. And I think like I made a post this week, our kids are going to have to grok what Google means, right? Because I just think that AI, whether it's Grok or some other one, is definitely taking over search. Google needs to get on it because like AI is everything in that regard right now.
It's crazy how far it's come in that area. I remember there was a meme that I saw maybe, 10 years ago at this point. I thought it was hilarious at the time. I like cut it out, put it up in my bedroom, and it was two people sitting on a couch, and the title of the comic was Life Before Google. And one of them turns to the other one and goes, hey, there's something I'd like to learn more about. And the other one goes, that's nice. And then that was the end of the comic. And it was just like, it was just like, go to the library. Sure. Right. And it's just like, now it's like literally you can search the entire web at your fingertips. It'll go through millions of web pages, right, in like a second. And it's just absolutely insane. Fun question, since we're on the topic, and this happens to be happening right now, and this might be more for you, Alex, and then I'll move on to the next topic, but the Combine is happening right now in, where did they do that again? Indianapolis. And they do a lot of data tracking at the Combine. For those that are unfamiliar with the NFL Combine, it's where players go and they test, they run the 40-yard dash, they do 3-cone splits, they do a ton of interviews. It's basically also just a giant medical check. Do you think that they're already using, or do you think that they're going to start using like heavy amounts of AI to analyze all of that data that they're collecting at stuff like this for sports in general?
Well, definitely not the NFL, because the NFL are a bunch of idiots. They haven't even implemented technology to like see if they've got a first down or not, right? Yeah, so you think they're going to do AI to analyze physical reports, and they can't even do an AI to see if the football crossed the line? Like that's just they're behind. They're willingly behind. I think the NBA is a little bit more forward when it comes to that stuff. I do believe a lot of companies are going to be very slow to adopt AI. The NFL uses AI in many ways, including to improve player safety, enhance. I mean, that's just gobbledygook, right? That doesn't
Sounds
actually
like
mean
a
anything.
hallucination. Right there for sure. It's going to be up to the individual teams and personal trainers and coaches, though, I think, before the leagues to help out with stuff like that. Like when you say the NFL Combine, do I think that the NFL itself is going to have any technology there that's helping out? No. But do I think that there is a coach in the NFL who has someone around him who's like, we need to figure out a creative way to use AI to help us with our recruiting or whatever? There is definitely some college or some NFL team, some trainers, like it's definitely seeping its way in.
You know, definitely is. Evan, can you pull up a picture of the Jacksonville Jaguars new general manager?
It's like he's 15 years old.
Yeah, take one look at this dude. This dude is going to bring AI to the NFL. This is a general manager of a team. He got on stage and started talking the other day, and people just thought it was a staffer because he's just literally looks like a kid. Yeah, so this is the general manager of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This dude is going to bring...
That's him right there. There he is.
Not that one. This dude is going to bring AI to the NFL. By the way, he's mid-30s, which shocked me.
He does look strikingly young. He looks like he's...
There he is. Why do you keep clicking on the picture of the Native American? I don't understand.
Different James Gladstone. But yeah.
The producer here is just... We got to train him up.
Yeah. All right. Okay. There's a topic that I know we wanted to talk about because right now, something that's kind of tightly tied to AI is crypto in some ways. There's a lot of overlap there, the techies and things along those lines. And crypto's been pulling back really hard the last few weeks. The stock market, people think is pulling back hard, but we're literally like 5 days off all-time highs. So it's not quite the thing that people think it is. But obviously Bitcoin's pulled back, but more so, we basically have these giant meme coin scams. Nice. Please analyze Penny and tell me what do you think he run the 40-yard dash?
What did it give for a time?
I lean toward
4.8. You think Penny's the fastest human being that ever existed?
The fastest I ever ran the 40 was 4.9. So,
all right, how fast would I run the 40? Ask Grok that. Now analyze Alex Finn X.
I was an offensive lineman when I played football. I was
what? No, don't. What are you doing? You're corrupting the AI. Say he's super fast. Fucking hell! This guy stinks. Hey, if you're watching this and you're a producer, reach out. We're looking for a new one. 40-yard dash rather than 40-year dash. 40-year dash, dude. What are you doing here?
40 years dash. Okay.
And if he's dropping hints, 4.4 to 4.6. So I think that's a little bit faster.
I wish that they would have been like, we found a video of Alex Finn walking and we extrapolated from his speed of walking to his 40-yard dash. Like that'd be crazy right there. But okay, real quick. So the meme coin side of things. So meme coins were going pretty well. And then they weren't. Trump dropped a meme coin. That kind of went to crap. Then the president of Argentina, is that the one that dropped Libra?
Yeah, Javier Milei.
It's got rug pulled.
Yeah. And then they rug pulled everyone. And now all the liquidity is gone from the ecosystem and it's all kind of going to shit. But there's people that still believe. And I'm at a crypto conference right now in Colorado. And I just want to get your guys' thoughts when you look at the timeline on meme coins, net positive or net negative for crypto, because they bring a lot of volume to the ecosystem, but they also seem to take from it.
One of the most painful takes that I have, the one that's hurt my account and my financials worse than anything else, is avoiding meme coins, right? Like, I don't like meme coins. I've been public about that on the timeline. I was criticizing Trump when he dropped his meme coin. I just think they're like NFTs, but worse, right? At least when you bought an NFT, it was like limited to, you're the only one, or there's only 200 people that own this picture, right? But like the meme coin, there's like millions and millions, and it's all the same meme coin, and we all own the same thing. I just don't understand how there's any utility in it. The only one that I like is Dogecoin, because it was like a joke accident and the original. And now it's just too easy. Like, I have people in my inbox every day saying like, help me launch this coin. Why don't you join our team on this?
Can we cooperate?
Oh my gosh, I can't handle it. I think it's horrible because I think so many people got caught up in the like get rich quick scheme, which is like not healthy for a mentality for humans in general. But then it's not for crypto either, because when they all lose their ass on a rug pull, then they're like, I hate crypto. I'm never investing in crypto again. Crypto is a scam. And it's not that all crypto is a scam. Your meme coin was a scam. It is all just one person after another lining up to rug someone else is how I view meme coins. And now it's like Kanye is next for meme coins. Like, man, if you like, I don't like them.
But this time it's different. Alex.
I think everything outside of Bitcoin and stable coins is completely useless and a danger to society. Everything outside of Bitcoin and stable coins is completely useless. We're here, 15 years later after they've been invented. No one can name someone name me a single use case for crypto outside of Bitcoin and stable coins. They doesn't exist, right? And all the people in crypto spend all day going around, let's onboard people. How do we onboard more people? How many people are going around in AI and going, let's onboard people. Like no one does that because AI is useful, has incredible use cases. And like, you don't need to convince people to do it because it's awesome and people do it, right?
ChatGPT was like the fastest growing product ever.
Right. But crypto, you need people going, let's onboard people to meme coins. Because there's no value to it at all. So you have to convince other people to use it so that you can steal their money, right? Outside of Bitcoin, which is a way to escape a corrupt financial system, and stable coins, which makes it really, really easy to send money anywhere in the world instantly and for very cheap. There's no use cases. There are none. There's no use cases to anything outside of it. We're 15 years later. It should not take 15 years to come up with one single use case for any of this stuff. And any use case someone comes up with and angrily puts in the comment section, I guarantee you I can find a better way to do that use case with an already existing technology.
Why do you even need stable coins, Alex? I mean, it seems like if you're stabilizing it to $1, why wouldn't you just send digital dollars? That's cheap anyways.
Because
like you can already send. I can already send
because it's expensive because there's a middleman.
You have to use a bank, so
there's no middleman with stable coins, right? It's decentralized.
I use my bank to pay my rent via a digital send, and it doesn't cost me a dime.
And what happens when that bank decides that your actions are socially unacceptable, so they lock your bank account?
Okay, fair enough. That's a use case.
And also, Penny, a lot of times, for like right now, when I get ACHs or if I want to send a wire, it costs me $25, right? For a wire, if I'm accepting an international wire, it costs me $25. If I'm doing this, if I'm doing that, right? And I'm also limited, like Zelle, right? Zelle's great, but I'm limited. I can only send $7K a day, right? A certain amount in a rolling period. You just don't have any of those limits. And it's more complex with stablecoins in some areas where, like, if they're on Ethereum, you're going to have higher gas fees. But now I use Base a lot, and it literally will cost me 1 cent to send however much money I want, right? And so it's
across the world instantly.
Yeah, and it'll get to them in like 5 or 6 seconds. Banks take 2 to 3 days sometimes for some of these transfers.
I mean, like Cash App and stuff, right? Like you could use that or Venmo, those.
But then you have to wait 3 days for it to hit your bank account. And if you want to hit your bank account faster, you pay $20.
But you can already take it to the store and spend with your Venmo directly or spend with your Cash App at the store as if you had a credit card. You don't even have to use your bank.
The craziest thing with banks is, by the way, when you put your money into a bank, you can Google this. You and producer, pull it up. You legally don't, the bank legally owns that money now. You become I believe a creditor to the bank. But when your money's in there, by law, this is so that banks can operate as they do and loan it out, they legally own that money. It's a very weird system. I didn't believe it until I Googled it. Can we get this pulled up on the screen?
So technically, they could run.
The bank owns your money. Like, it's a wild.
So there's your use case, Penny. There it is. There's your use case.
I get it now. See, you onboarded me.
There you go. So a couple areas, but yeah, I would agree with you guys. The problem with meme coins is it all operates on greater fool's theory, which is a concept that was come up with during, the tulip scandals and all those things. The idea is that the only thing that drives this price higher is that there is a greater fool out there than me who believes enough to buy it at a higher price. That is the sole driver. And greater fool's theory works in the short term, but over time, people typically tend to become less foolish because they have experience and education, which takes time to have. And so you lead to what you're seeing now in the market, which is an 80%, 90% drawdown, usually 100% in most of them.
So it's like a race to see who can take advantage of all of the greater fools before they learn their lesson. And it feels dirty.
Meme coins will be back. It's slow right now because liquidity has been sucked up because there's been a tremendous amount of scams very fast, but they'll be back. I actually think meme coins are kind of the end game of crypto, believe it or not. I think for years, the last 15 years, we've had this pretense in crypto that there's some sort of utility or like greater benefit to society coming, like NFTs. Oh, there's utility. Like we're going to be able to do all these cool things we've never been able to do before. And like with ICOs, oh, DeFi, and with Ethereum, oh, we're going to have these decentralized software and systems where we can do all these things. And we've slowly realized over time, none of that's ever happening. That's not a real thing. There's better ways to do all of that. And so but deep down inside, the reason why we were investing all these things, just gambling, right? We didn't actually care about that utility. We just wanted to gamble on it. And now with meme coins, we finally have dropped the pretense of like, oh, something bigger and better is eventually coming. And we're just like, no, we're just gambling on anything that we can put our hands on. And we finally, after 15 years, have dropped the pretense of like technical revolution. And now we're just gambling in the easiest way we can possibly gamble. And I think we've hit the end game, which is like, okay, we're finally admitting why we're here, which is just purely to gamble in the easiest way possible. And like, there's no more possible evolution from there. We're just going to be there forever.
Could be. Really fun one today. For those that are listening in, we covered what did you do last week? The email from Elon. We talked a lot about robots. That was a really interesting conversation to me. The latest updates in AI, and then of course, the crypto craze. Alex, any final thoughts to share with the audience today?
Final thoughts to share with the audience. We got a whole bunch of cool AI stuff that came out the last 3 days. You're an idiot if you're not using it. You're falling behind. If you use it, you can build cool stuff and make tons of money. I built Creator Buddy with it. 2 days ago, we hit 500 paid subscribers. We're at 300K ARR. Built it completely by myself. Best AI content app of all time. Check it out. But you can do cool things like that with AI. You can just build cool things by yourself, no experience, and make a living for yourself. So just do it. CreatorBuddy.io. Click it. Profile. Greatest AI content app ever. That's what I'm thinking.
You can simply do things. Gotta love
just
that.
do things. Look at that landing page. You know how I built this landing page? I said, hey, Sonnet, build me a landing page. And this is what popped up. So it took me 5 minutes, build me a landing page. And now look at this. This is the greatest landing page anyone's ever seen in their life. Boom.
That's insane. Penny.
I'll tell you, like, I'm serious when I say it is so easy to build things now that I'm kind of in a panic. Because I feel like I don't know how long this stage is going to last, where it's really easy for people that know what they're doing to build things, but people who don't, it's still difficult. So like there is this runway period where people who have been in the industry a long time, but we're doing things by hand, they know what all the pieces are, and they can be the one that put it all together and ask the AIs to help, right? It's like a superpower that has never existed, but in a year or less, it's going to get to the point where instead of just saying, build me a landing page, and it can output you a landing page, and you know that that's just one of the parts of what you need to build a company, you're going to be able to tell the AI, or it's going to ask itself to build a whole business, right? Did my camera just die? Of course,
yes.
The episode is over, but it's going to build a whole business, and that will be the end of it. And then my period of being able to run ahead and like gain on people will be over. So I'm like panicking. I need to do it now.
AI will fix his camera issues.
Well said. You look great, by the way.
I have.
Hey, let's go.
There we go.
There we go.
My camera's plugged in, but the battery ran out, and then it turns off. I don't know why. The
producer, you moved quick on this one. I like it. You're hired again. I like the way you moved to that one. That was a quick one. Good work.
Super fun. I completely agree with him. One of the best advantages you can have in life is being an early adopter and an early mover. It can lead you to so many advantages over other people that come in later and don't have the same education or just the things built and the infrastructure that you've already done. So get a move on now. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe to us on YouTube, give the X page a follow, drop a comment with the things that you did last week, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care, everybody.
We love you.
Peace out. Love you guys.